What up, y'all? This is BaxGlobal Music, Episode 2. My name is RhYmZ, and I'm coming to you live from Terrace, BC, Canada. Today, we will have a special guest on today. I'm just waiting for him to join us now. He's joining us from Vancouver, BC. He goes by the name of Battlekatt. I had the chance of meeting Battlekatt while I was down in Vancouver. Some of you may know that I was just down south performing a couple of shows, one in Kelowna, BC, one in Vancouver, BC, and I had the chance to meet up with Battlekatt, and we got to meet up at Rocco's tattoo studio, and I'll bring him on right now. Battlekatt.
Yo, what up, bro?
Not much, just chilling. I was just telling the people here how we had a meeting inside of Rocco's studio, and we got the chance to meet up.
Yeah, man, for the first time. That was dope, man.
Yeah, you were with your homie AKTV, who you do Hating Uncles with, correct?
That's right. We do Hating Uncles is one of the things that we do. And I've been on a couple of things with AK. But yeah, he's my boy's brother from back in the days. One of the first brown YouTubers ever. So before Superwoman and all this stuff happened, they were all a part of the same circle, but maybe you can bring him on one day and talk about his story and stuff. But
yeah, I'd love to bring him on. He actually posted a story of all us on the Instagram, and we got to share it around and show some love. So shout out to AKTV. So let's talk about Hating Uncles. How did it come about?
Shout out to AK. Hating Uncles? It came about like AK had this skit called Hating Aunties first, where there's a bunch of aunties just, and it was AK and his buddies like playing the aunties, so they had their hats and stuff on, and they just threw a chunni on, the headscarf on, and like they were sitting around having tea, just basically whatever. So that was the original Hating Aunties, but AK had an idea for Hating Uncles, where there's a bunch of freaking East Indian uncles sitting around just talking shit, just talking about whatever, and fucking just hating, man. And yeah, the truck driving stuff is sorry, I think I'm cutting out.
It's all good. We still got you.
Am I cutting out on your end?
No, your audio is still there. I think it's just okay. Your video's lagging a bit. We can still hear you fine.
Oh.
So yeah, I got a chance to check out. I got a chance to check out a few of the episodes. I checked out the first episode. It was pretty funny. The first episode was actually one of my favorites. Just the whole concept, the whole trucking aspect with the East Indian culture. It's pretty funny the way you put it across.
No, it's pretty crazy, man. Yeah, the first one, it all happened as this like organic thing that AK kind of did. He recorded the first uncle. None of the uncles actually recorded together. We had no script, no nothing. So the first uncle recorded and he was bitching, and then the second uncle played off of what he was saying, and then the third uncle played off of that, and then I played off the dispatcher thing in between, and then AK kind of put it all together, and then he edited together like we were having an actual conversation.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty fun process, man.
Yeah, that's dope. So you guys have been doing this for quite a while now. Like, what episode are you guys at now?
Well, for the Hating Uncles series, there's only 2. And we just completed the 3rd one, so the trilogy is going to get completed. Who knows, man? We're working on, AK's working on a few things. There's a movie concept that he's working on called Living in a Brown Hood, where all of the characters that he's done over the years will make an appearance and so on and so forth. So looking forward to that. Just working out some stuff with that. But yeah, man, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, that is dope. So where people can find all the Hating Uncle stuff on AKTV, correct?
On AKTV on YouTube, yeah. If you just type in Hating Uncles, it should be the only thing out there. Hating Uncles Part 1, Part 2, Part 3 should be out hopefully by the middle. Well, it's kind of like middle of summer. I'd say by the end of summer, hopefully.
So acting has been one of your more recent ventures. Now, where do you see yourself in the next couple of years with acting?
Acting actually has been, I've been doing it for a minute, man. I just started taking it a little bit more serious recently. because a lot of the roles that I did do, because I did like a web series back in the day that didn't really see the light of day, where I play a corrupt cop. But yeah, man, it was always a thing that I liked, and I just started taking it a little bit more serious. I'm like, okay, well, I got the right swords and the right tools, so it's time to sharpen those swords and decapitate heads. You know what I'm saying? So where do I see myself in the next few years, man? Hopefully the Oscars, man. You never know. You never
Hell
know,
yeah,
bro.
hell yeah. Hell yeah. So if you guys want to check out Hating Uncles, you could check out the link that Willie P has posted in the comments. He's actually posted a link for us to Hating Uncles. I just want to give a quick shout out to all our Facebook supporters. We got Mike Kilberry up in the chat. Kills
Shit,
says, "What up,
kills.
fam?"
What
We
up,
got
fam?
Chance Montgomery up in the chat. We got Vincent Schleider up in the chat. And we got our homie Micah Moses Miller, co-host of the Axe Mode podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So most of you might know now that Battlekatt has been on our other podcasts, the Axes Up podcast and the Axe Mode podcast. The Axe Mode podcast runs every Tuesday. The Axes Up podcast we will see this Sunday. So most of you may know that Battlekatt has done a lot of acting in his career, but he's also a hip hop artist. By any means, man.
Yep.
We got to talk about that project for sure.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Now, I went over the album again because it's a gem, and I wanted to talk about one of the more introspective tracks, Quicksand.
Okay.
So let's talk about the story behind Quicksand and why you wrote that track. Oh, we might have lost Battlekatt, or he's on
Is
a
that better?
Okay.
Is that better?
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
All right. Yeah,
I caught you in a really, really awkward pose there.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, it was a. I was like, either we lost him or he's seriously pondering on this.
No, Quicksand was like a lot of like I was saying, like a lot of the tracks are like tracks that were been sitting on the shelves or were released a while back, and then some new tracks we polished them back up and put them out. Quicksand was a track, I think it was, if I remember correctly, we recorded it in like 2007, I believe. And it was me and my boy RhYmZ, and it was one of the first times we were in the studio together. And yeah, it was just like we were like anything that we tried to do, whether it was in the East Indian community or within the hip hop community, anything that we tried to do, it was like we didn't have like solid ground to stand on. It was like we were always sinking in quicksand. So we're like we embraced it. We're like, okay, we are part of the quicksand and shit, and that is us. So we just kind of came out with the lyricism and yeah, just straight hip hop shit, man. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
Real crazy story or anything behind it, but you know, it's not like we were walking down the street and we got sucked into quicksand or some shit and we came up with the concept. No, but the industry kind of sucks the life out of you, like quicksand. Once you enter, you know what I mean? Even if you are underground, it keeps sucking you back in, sucking you back down, right? So it doesn't let you rise. So that was the kind of the concept. We're like, fuck it, we're gonna do it either way.
Yeah. So before we get into the next track off the album, I know you talked about this a bit on the Axe Mode podcast during our episode, but I want you to let the people know again what the phrase "by any means" actually means to you and why you created this album.
By any means, the whole concept was it's the Malcolm X by any means necessary, right? So it doesn't matter what you do or how far you want to take, you got to believe in yourself. So you know what I mean? I'm not here to mesmerize and make it. I'm here to terrorize and take it. You know what I'm saying? If you're not going to give it to me, I'm going to take it myself. You know what I'm saying? So by any means, whether it's with the sword, whether it's with the pen, whether it's with my mind, or whether it's with my fists, we taking that shit. You know what I'm saying? Once you put your mind to something, fucking go after that shit by any means necessary. So that was the concept behind it. And yeah, man, just fucking that's the way my trip through this music industry has been like. And I'm here to fucking take it. You know what I'm saying? So
Hell yeah. Now, there is one track off the album that it stands out. It's one of these singles off the album, and I wanted to talk to you about it specifically because I felt that you had a unique spin on the concept of chaotic. Let's talk about chaotic.
Yeah, chaotic was like I said, it was an older track that I wrote post 9/11 about when there was a lot of misinformation that was being passed around by the fucking media. Like, at surprise, surprise, the media is not telling us the fucking truth, right? You know what I'm saying? So, um, it was one of those tracks that was written at that time after 9/11 had happened. The first verse was like it was this exercise we used to do at one of the places I worked, and word was given to me, chaos, and everyone wrote their rhymes, chaos, and that's how chaotic came in. It was after 9/11, and yeah, man, I just wrote the track from there, and it was part of a feature film called Sweet America, and how it was Sikhs were being targeted because of Islamophobia or whatever it was, and people don't know, they don't understand. They see a beard and they see the rag or a turban and shit, and they automatically like that's a terrorist because that's what the media has fed people, right? So that's why I wrote that track. You know what I mean? And the same type of shit that was happening back then, the same type of shit is happening now with even with the farmers protest and any type of thing that is going on anywhere around the world. You don't hear about everything in the truthful shit. So whatever their fucking agenda is, you know what I mean? And the agenda to more and more people is more and more people's eyes are opening up to see that fucking yo man, we're not being fed the fucking truth. You know what I'm saying? They want us to be sheep and be zombified and stay in this motherfucking social media and walk around like zombies. Everyone's saying fucking the COVID-19, the pandemic. I was hoping for a zombie apocalypse. Bruh, we've been in the zombie apocalypse ever since social fucking media started. You know what I'm saying? Even though you're listening to these words on social media, it's true, man. People walk around fucking delved in their phones.
Straight
Human
up.
connection is over, right?
Straight
So
up.
yeah, man, it was just one of those things. And then the farmers' protest was going on, and so I wanted to do a video, and I revisited the track, redid the music, redid the video, and kind of connected all the dots throughout history. That this is not the first time they're doing this; they've been doing this throughout history, and will continue to do this throughout history. Because the only way they're gonna they can't enslave us physically anymore, so they're trying to fucking mentally and spiritually enslave us. So wake up, open your eyes.
Yeah, on a side note, for those of you who don't know, for the last couple of years, there's been a farming protest out in India where they are basically taking all the farmers' land, and there's been a big fight over it. I actually wanted to um, inquire about that with you. Is what is your take on the farming protest?
What is my take on it? The same shit
Yes,
happened back in fucking North America. Now, how many fucking small farmers are there in North America? Fucking hardly none. Corporations run that shit. And it's done by putting rules into places. And these three laws that the Indian government had passed basically screws the small farmer. And small farmers make up 75% of the farms in India. So if the small farmers can't survive, then guess what? The corporation, they've played it in a way where the big corporate private companies don't have any cap, and there's no cap on the price of crops. So for a couple of years, it may be good for small farmers, but guess what? If they can fucking store this shit, and if you look deeper into it, a lot of food is going to waste. And they're saying that in the next few years, they're going to be like, we don't have enough food to feed everyone. Pay attention to what the fuck I'm saying right now. This shit's going to come up. You know what I mean? So if you control the food industry, it's like controlling water and air, man. If once you control the food industry, it's done. You know what I'm saying? You
amen.
can't. If you eat healthy, you will stay healthy. If they feed you crap, they want to keep you sick. Guess what? It's a motherfucking business for them. You know what I'm saying?
Real talk.
So, yeah, man, the whole farmers protesting was, man, 75% of India fucking like are farmers, like small farmers. Like America, I think there was an import or export. I can't believe. I think it was an export of $3.4 billion in 1 year or some shit. And only 2% of the country has farms that export shit out.
Yeah.
75%, like India is like fucking quintuple times the size of that shit. So these big corporations, they want a fucking piece of that shit. They see that shit and they're like, "Fuck, we want a piece of it." And
Yeah.
the Indian government that's in place is fucking pushing a regime that is very, very similar to what the Nazi regime was like back in Germany back then with Modi. Modi's pushing the fucking superior race shit, and that's something else that goes deeper. And we could be here for fucking hours talking about this shit, but it,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's the kind of
It's
the gist of it, man. They're trying to fuck the little guy over by putting into rules into place where it's gonna screw you over either way. You
yeah.
want to play it,
Yeah.
right? You know
It's
what I mean?
sad that the middle class of society has basically become a business for the corporation to try and sell to the lower class when the lower class doesn't even have enough to obtain that.
100%,
It's
bro. Like
it's sad.
our whole system is built like our whole system from when you start going to school until you go to school, get good grades. When you get good grades, you go into college and university. When you get that, you get a good job. Then you can get that white picket fence and have that fucking family. And you know what I'm saying? They feed you this rhetoric. They
Yeah.
want you to be a cog in the fucking wheel so they can fucking sit there at the top and eat. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are opening their eyes and opening up to that, which I got to give props up to social media on one thing, that the entrepreneurship and independent business people who are smart with it, they're making their own lanes. So I even tell my kids to look, if you're happy being a cog in the wheel, that's your prerogative. You know what I'm saying? But
Hell yeah.
if you can come up or be innovative with an idea where you are your own boss in a way where you're playing the game within the game, then you ahead of the game. Man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
chess, not
Not just playing
checkers.
the game. You're making the rules.
Straight the fuck up, man. It's
Yeah.
chess, not checkers.
Yeah.
Fuck checkers,
Straight up.
man. You know what I mean?
Straight
We
up.
all pawns, but the pawn is the most powerful piece on a chessboard. It's also the weakest, but if you get it to the other side, it can become the queen, the most powerful piece on the board, or like the knight. But anyways, I'm gonna start getting into my nerdy fucking chess side of things, but
Yeah, I wanted to bring all that up because I thought Chaotic was a very relevant track to kind of bundle up not only just the last year that we have lived, but everything that you were dealing with at the time.
well, yeah, with the whole 9/11 thing, and bro, when 9/11 happened, man, I traveled quite a bit, right? And I still, when I could, I still did. And I was random, like I went from this on this one trip to India and back, and so I had to go through from here to Toronto to England to Delhi, and so on from there. But I was randomly selected every fucking time I went through fucking security, so it was very clear to me what the fuck was happening. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, um, just just be mindful of what the fuck they're feeding you, man.
Yeah.
Everything is a fucking game.
So before we move forward, I want to touch on one more track off of By Any Means.
Sure.
My favorite track, once again. It's a
Yes.
banger of a track.
Thank you, brother.
So who's that produced by?
That's produced by my boy Manny D. He's part of Dip Hop Music. He brought that West Coast feel to it. I had this little hook thing that I wrote back in the days, and it just meshed. And you know, what was his name? Sam Snead, I think it was, that had that track on was it America's Most Wanted? No, what the hell was that? Murder Was the Case. I think it was the track
Yeah.
on there, produced by Dr. Dre. So it had it has that same type of feel. I'm like, I want to bring that '90s fucking West Coast hip hop feel back. You know what I'm saying? With that little bit of
Hell
East
yeah.
Coast fucking, you know, grittiness to it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. So once again, man, I'm back. Never left, motherfuckers.
Hell yeah. So make sure to go check out By Any Means by Battlekatt. You can find it across all platforms. If you hop on Google, you put Battlekatt with 2 T's at the end.
2 T's.
By Any Means, and you will find the album right there. Now I want to talk about one more track. One of your more recent tracks. You did it with Skinny Buff called Positive Negative.
Positive Negative. Fuck yeah, man. Shout out to Skinny Buff. And the
Now, did you guys just do that track last year?
Yeah, bro, it was fucking crazy because I recorded the track at where the fuck did I? No, I okay. So what happened was, hold on, let me get this fucking sun out of my fucking face. 1 second. What happened was, I ended up we're like, okay, I wrote the track. He sent me the track with his verse on it, so I wrote my shit. He's like, can you record somewhere? I'm like, well, I don't really got a spot right now. He's like, okay, I'm planning a video. Why don't you come over to the island, to Buff Island and shit, and then we'll record the video, and we'll record your verse, we'll record the video, and then we'll do it that way. I'm like, okay, cool. So went over. This was a week before lockdown happened last year. Went over to Buff Island, fucking literally recorded the track there, doubled it up. We mixed it, we mastered it. Went into Buff's backyard and fucking recorded Positive Negative. I had my outfits ready to go. So they say you can't pop shit out in one day. They fucking lying to themselves because you can. We pulled it off that day, man. It was
Straight
fun
up.
too. It was fucking fun. But of course, you have to have a vision and planning. Buff already had the vision of what he wanted the video to look like, what kind of concept and everything. I already had my verse written, ready to go, and so on and so forth. So everything just fell into place, man. It was a blessing to get it done before the lockdown, man.
Hell yeah. So, is there any more music that people can look forward coming from you?
There is more music in the works. There's going to be a couple, probably once again, it's probably going to get a video, because I'm getting a lot of requests to make that video. So that one's going to be coming down the pipeline. I have another one planned out for Bandook, which is the only East Indian track on my album.
Yeah, yeah.
I have one planned for that. And I have a track with Whisper.
Oh,
It's called Come On. It's a different type of track, man. It hits differently. So we're trying to plan out a video for that, but that should be coming soon too.
dope. So, with both of your music and acting, I want to ask, what is your 5-year plan?
What's my 5-year plan?
Yeah.
With the acting or with the music?
Well, where do you see yourself with both in 5 years?
Okay. My acting and anything to do with the film side of things, I think I've always been into that more side. So I've put a lot of my energy and concentration onto that side for now. My music part of things, I'm still always going to do, because if I don't express myself that way to get my personal fucking shit out, it's just going to get bottled up. Where do I see myself in 5 years? Probably a couple more albums. I'm going to drop a couple more albums, and then a few more roles, man. You'll see me on Disney Plus and fucking maybe in a Marvel movie, fucking Star Wars. Who the fuck knows, man? Sky's the
Hell
limit.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hell
Fucking
yeah.
Walking North. I'm working on a couple of scripts too. So, for a couple of my own stuff that I'm gonna, because I've directed a few music videos and stuff too, right? And if you watch my videos, they're like little mini movies, as one of my peers in Toronto puts it. There's usually a story, a concept behind them. So yeah, there's a possibility of a series, but definitely a couple of movies in the works.
Hell yeah. That's super dope.
Yeah, man.
And we have another question actually from Micah himself.
Yep.
He was wondering, which 5 artists from Wild East Entertainment would you like to work with?
Fucking guy who's gonna throw that shit at me right now. Fucking guy. Well, Maze Overlay for sure.
Yeah.
I want to work with him for sure. Yo, man, I haven't been on grind mode, the show, in a while. It's been like a month, man. I've been so busy, right?
You got to get Once Again up on there.
Yeah, I will. Next time I tune in, man, it's like literally, I think it's been like a month, man. AOK and Lingo and everyone's probably like, where the fuck is Battlekatt? You're usually commenting on everything, but I haven't
Straight
been
up.
on at all, man. Plus, the show kills my data, bro, when I watch it. I'm not on Wi-Fi and shit. But yeah, Maze Overlay for sure. Was it that crew, Gas? Was it Gas?
Gastown.
Yes, they're fucking
Yeah.
sick, man. Yeah. Yeah, I think Small Hands is part of that crew. Is that?
Yeah. Small Hands. Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck, man. There's a few others, man. There's this other cat that he sent me more recently. Mike did. Maybe he can remember what the last thing. When I
Maybe
heard that
Lux
cat,
Wave.
who?
Was it Lux Wave?
Possibly. There's a
Yeah,
few
he's
of them,
super
bro.
dope.
Like I'm in the car, like your cat, you like you said, we're going off the fly, right? So I'm going off the fly, like Maze Overlay for sure. The fucking the Gastown Gangsters is what I'm gonna call them from now on. But yeah, them for sure. And there's a few others, man. And there's a few people in grind mode that I want to fucking definitely do some shit with, like, you know, obviously AOK and Lingo, and let's see if we can get some cipher shit going when the borders open up. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah, we want a Grind Mode Canada cipher for sure.
Straight the fuck up, bro.
Hell yeah.
That'd be fucking dope.
Yeah. So also Brittany actually had a question for you earlier. If
Okay.
you could interview one hip hop artist, dead or alive, who would it be?
That's a very interesting question. That's an awesome question. Brittany, right?
Yeah.
I can't see the comments, otherwise I wouldn't be so bad, man. Hold on, let me think. Dead or alive? I'll be honest, man. The person who's I would really want to sit down and talk to, the first person that popped into my mind would be Nipsey Hussle, man. Because every time I see his interviews, he's got
That's dope.
gems, and he just drops knowledge about, like, how you should move and energies and so on and so forth. And then, like, that's where my mind state and my mental is at right now. You know what I'm saying? How you move and how you see yourself. A close second would be Pac, because I would definitely want to have some conversations. He was a very passionate cat, very very educated. But Nipsey would probably be at the top of my list, just because every single interview I've seen, the person that's interviewing him is um, leaving with something more than they came in with. If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah. Nipsey had a lot of motivational words in his, not
Bro,
only in his music, but in his interviews. It was crazy. Rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle, for sure.
straight up, man. Like, I'll be honest, I didn't even hear about Nipsey until he passed. And then I was like, what the fuck? How the fuck did I not hear about this guy? I was kind of
Right.
upset at myself. And then, man, then I started watching his interviews and everything. And yeah, man, man's knowledge, he was on another level. Probably why he got taken out. Because food industry, he was Dr. Sebi and some shit. Bruh, I'm telling you, there's some shit going down.
Hell yeah. So do you have any like performances coming up? Are you doing shows this year?
Well, shit's just starting to open up.
Yeah.
There's a couple. There were a couple of potentials in the works. I was going to do Chelsea's the boat cruise at the end of the month, but unfortunately, my kids are a part of 4-H, so we have the agri fair going on that weekend, and it'll be kind of hard for me to go from Abbotsford to Vancouver and back and forth. So I'm probably not going to be doing that one, but there's a possibility of one on August 7th. With Nicole, and I think Skinny Buff and Vic City Soldiers and them are performing there too. But don't quote me on this. It's not been announced yet. She's been waiting on my answer. So yeah, I'm probably going to be performing on August 7th, and I guess I'm making it official right now.
Dope. We'll be on the lookout for that, August 7th.
Yeah, in
Also,
Abbotsford. It'll be in Abbotsford.
actually, Rocco hit me up with an opportunity earlier. I guess at the end of July, there's a Battleaxe Global meeting out in Quebec. And
End of August. End of August.
oh, it's end of August. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be
So
there for sure too, bro. If you're
yeah,
gonna
let's go
come
kill
down,
it.
man, that's gonna be dope.
Yeah. Micah's up in the chat. He says a Mickey Bourbon and Battlekatt collab would be epic.
Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah, Mickey Bourbon's
yeah.
actually going to be on the next episode of the Axe Mode podcast next Tuesday.
Dope. That's dope, man. I'm gonna make sure I tune in. And sometimes I don't get time when it's live, but yeah, I definitely like to go back and check it out too, man. So it's dope.
So, because this being Bax Global Music representing the Battleaxe Global brand, I wanted people to know how long you have been with the brand.
With Battleaxe?
Yeah.
Was one of the part of the movement, like in the beginning in 2012 was when I first joined. I think
So just after your album dropped.
No, 2012, bro.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, just before we got signed to Universal Music India, that's when I joined Battleaxe. I think I was like member 882, and then things started changing from the fan movement to, you know what I mean, a more of an organization of artists of all forms and so on and so forth. So when things started to get more and more organized, then back in 2018, um, I met up with Rocco and Bossman. We had some talks and so on and so forth. He was like, "Yeah, I want some of the original guys back at the table and so on and so forth." Um, and yeah, I was like, "Yeah, man, I fuck. What do I need to do?" He's like, "You're gonna have to go through all the steps and stuff again, or go through all the steps." And I'm like, "Listen, bro, whatever I need to do. If I need to pay my dues, I'll pay my dues and take the time that I need to show my dedication to the family." And that's what I did. And here I am, BaxGlobal Global, right? So,
Oh yeah. So let's touch on your time with Universal India.
yeah.
What did you do with them? How long were you with the brand?
Okay, so we had a group of artists um we call ourselves, it was IMM Entertainment. We started our own thing. There was about 18 of us from around the globe, like from everywhere, from Europe, from North America. Like we're all rappers, singers, and we're all of East Indian descent. We came together and we started together an album. Shout out and rest in peace to Deep Cold and the Teflon Don. The Teflon Don is the one that had the idea and the vision. In 2012, me and my boy DJ HMD, we went to India with plans of shopping his album that had just dropped then to some of the India labels. So we had planned on going to Bombay. Went to Bombay. I had put out a tweet saying, "Yeah, I'm headed to India with my boy. We're about to freaking do whatever." I can't even remember what the tweet said. It was connected to my Facebook, so the tweet showed up on my Facebook. And my boy Tef reached out to me. He's like, "Yo, I'm in India right now with Sonny Brown and Deep Cold. We're doing a Three Sings album right now. Make sure you link. Here's my number." I'm like, "Okay." So I went to Bombay, called him when I was on my way back, and I linked up with him. And yeah, they were on tour with an artist called Yo. His name's Yo Yo Honey Singh. Now this guy at that time was fucking massive. Like I mean, like we went on tour with him that year after we all linked up and shit, and it was just fucking insanity, man. And we ended up making it like a distribution deal with Universal Music via IMM to do an album with all of us on there and to distribute uh, with them. And it was a very interesting process, man. The way the record labels work here and the way the record labels work out there, yes, they're similar. Yes, they have the same structure, but it's very different, man.
Yeah,
So yeah, it was a constant struggle for us being from over here to always make sure that they were doing what needed to get done over there. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So, but it was a good time, man. I got nothing bad about the trip that we went on. The people that I met, I'm still friends with a lot of the IMM brothers. They were friends before. They're still friends now. A few of the brothers like blew up on a massive scale. Hip hop blew up in India on a huge scale.
yeah.
Um, my boy Ikka was part of IMM. My boy RS Chahan, he blew up. My boy DJ, well, he goes by Intense now. He's like one of the top producers out there right now. And yeah, man, my boy DJ HMD, who's the co-founder of Dip Hop Music as well. He was label mate as well, and he's continuously dropping stuff as well. So yeah,
Oh yeah.
it was
So
it was it was good times.
did you guys get to release that IMM project?
Yeah, it did get released. What had happened was that we had this very unique deal with Universal Music, where it was like only the distribution of the album. They were only allowed to distribute it digitally over there, only over there.
Oh,
So we
so
kept
nobody
the
else can access it.
yeah, so we kept the rights outside of there. But unfortunately, like a lot of that paperwork and a lot of that stuff, uh, my boy Teflon Don and Deep Cold, they were the two top guys in 2014 when we were just about to start the RhYmZ tour, our boy Deep Cole died. So we stopped. We all kind of flew back from India. He died in India too. He's from Houston, Texas. And yeah, he passed away there. And then it kind of fucking threw everyone into a loop, right? So we try to pick up the pieces. We were slowly picking up the pieces. We started doing some Tef started doing some dream team management stuff. So there's paperwork and stuff out there that we're trying to figure out how to get the album back up on out here, back online, because it was
Yeah.
online everywhere, and then and I can only find it now in India Spotify, and that's like, we're like, and you can't even play it here. It's kind of fucking weird, but it's all things that got to get sorted out. The videos for a lot of the songs on the album are, for example, "Get Down," the vampire video that I have with RS
Yes.
Sean, that was on the album. "Welcome to Dip Hop," that was on the album. And there's quite a few other ones. If you go to RhYmZ Entertainment, if you look up RhYmZ Entertainment on YouTube, then you should be able to see quite a few of the videos that we were doing at that time.
Word.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was asking because Clayton McKay Carson's up with us in the chat, and he was asking where could we get some of that music you did overseas, Battlekatt. So yeah, Clayton, you can check out RhYmZ Entertainment on YouTube and make sure to check out some of that music, yo.
Yeah, man, the videos are out there, definitely. So if you go to I have a Battlekatt YouTube page as well. If you look up Chaotic or By Any Means the videos, from there I'll have it under my playlists of featured tracks and so on and so forth. So it should be in that list, and then you can connect them from there.
Dope. So I just wanted to take any audience questions at the moment. If you guys want to hop in the comments and ask Battlekatt a quick question. I just wanted to ask one more thing regarding
Sure.
Hating Uncles. Whenabouts can people expect the next episode?
Hopefully, bro. Honestly, last night we shot, I think, one of the final uncles last night. And my boy AK's out right now shooting his parts because he plays Lovely Sing Lovely, one of the uncles, one of the original uncles. He's here for a couple of weeks. Then he's going to go into, I would say, by the end of summer, middle of August, end of summer, beginning of September. Hopefully, I know it's top priority for him to get it out there. So hopefully sooner than later.
Yeah. So AK is from Toronto, right?
He's from Toronto. Yeah.
Yeah. So is all the filming done in Vancouver?
No. There was 1, 2, 3 uncles were shot in Toronto before he came down, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 of the uncles are shot here.
Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. There's a lot of uncles this time.
What was that?
There's a lot of uncles this time. A lot of different ones. You got the main characters, like there's Lucky, there's Tony, there's Lovely, there's me, Gora, or White Tony, as the first episode calls me. But and then Rupin, one of the original uncles. He is one of the original uncles. He's back in this episode. So yeah, some of the original uncles are back, and a couple of new ones.
That's really dope. So how many will there be in total?
I think 8, I believe 7 or 8. I think I could be wrong, bro, but I'm sure it's at least 7, at least. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Willie P's up in the chat. He says he wants to get your music featured in the upcoming VGHL season.
Oh, hell yeah, man. I'm down with that.
Yeah.
Anytime, bro. What up, Willie?
Yeah, if you guys don't know, Battleaxe Global, we run a virtual global hockey league. It's done by Willie P. He's out in Thailand. He's basically taken NHL 2009, I believe, and he's basically recreated the whole game.
That thing is dope, man. That thing is dope.
Yeah, so he's done.
I'd be honored, man. Love to be featured on that shit. Hell yeah.
Yeah, there's he's redone the teams, he's redone the crowd, he's redone basically everything right down to the sticks and skates of the whole game.
It's freaking amazing, man. It's so dope.
Yeah,
some nostalgic shit there too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so Willie P, if you want to let the people know in the comments when that's going to start, because that is actually starting pretty soon. But anyways, back to Battlekatt. Battlekatt by any means is out on all platforms. Make sure to go check it out. Make sure to check out the tracks in the comments that I listed, Chaotic, Once Again, and Quicksand. Also, make sure to check out Positive Negative by Skinny Buff. Battlekatt's all over the place, man. He's got lots coming.
Yeah, man. All over the place. Trying to stay busy, bro.
Yeah. Also, Clayton, I wanted to address a couple questions that you asked. You were asking about the barbecue at East Van Inc., which I believe we spoke about in our meeting. All the details haven't been completely ironed out yet. We will get in touch when all of that is been discussed with the boss man himself. And I did receive your project, bro, or your package. Yeah, shout out to the Nanaimo division. They sent me they sent me a flag, they sent me a t-shirt and patches.
Dope, man. That's
Yeah.
love.
Hell yeah. So what else do you got coming up with Global?
What do I have stuff coming up with Global? Well, yeah, we're working on yeah, man. The tracks I'm doing with a few of the global artists that are in the works. I don't know if I should be talking about it yet, man. I don't know if Liam talked about it a little bit. Well, there's another hint that me and Liam are doing some shit together. But yeah, man, there's a few tracks in the works. You were at that meeting. You heard what was going on.
Yeah.
Until it's rock solid, I don't think we should. I think we should keep people waiting a little bit. You know what I mean? I can't
Right.
give you guys anything, man.
Well,
you know
I'll say one thing. If you guys seen the first episode of Battleaxe Global Music and you've seen the second episode of Battleaxe Global Music, they are closer together than you think.
Yeah. We dropping Easter eggs up in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You can call me Mr. Marvel and shit. You know what I mean? Fuck. There's a million Easter eggs that dropped in here. You got to go back and listen.
Yeah. Yeah, make sure to go back, re-listen to the episode. Do us all a favor. Head over to BaxGlobal Global TV, hit that subscribe button so you will be able to see when we go live for BaxGlobal Global Music every Wednesday. Last Wednesday, my co-host of the X Mode podcast, Mr. East, interviewed Liam Dibb, also known as PS LCD. That was a dope interview. And next Wednesday, my man Willie P in Thailand is going to be interviewing Doe the Unknown. So that'll be super dope.
Sick.
Yeah. So, yeah, thank you very much for joining us today, Battlekatt. As
Not
always.
A problem, brother.
Yeah. And we look forward to having you on a future episode of all of our podcasts. And I just want to do a little bit of shameless self-promotion for our podcast because we have a lot coming to you. This Sunday, we've got Bury the Needle and Axes Up. Bury the Needle is our tattoo podcast that happens at 3:00 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It will happen this Sunday, and then 2 weeks from then, we will have our next episode. And at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, that same day, we have the Axes Up podcast, which is everything Battleaxe Global. We'll bring you all the news, all the updates, everything Battleaxe Global. Next Tuesday, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we've got the Axe Mode podcast with my co-host, Mr. East in Wisconsin. I join you from Terrace, BC, Canada, and we have Mickey Bourbon on there, Grand Mode affiliate, to interview. And like I said, next Wednesday, our next episode of BaxGlobal Global Music with Willie P, he's going to interview Doe the Unknown.
Dope. Lots going on, man. Lots going on.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
That's dope, man. Keeping it busy. I like that.
Yeah, it's a global thing.
Straight the fuck up, man.
So I just wanted to say much love to you, Battlekatt, and much love to all of our viewers and supporters that have joined us today. And we will see y'all next Wednesday. Axes up, family.
Axes up.
Peace out.
Peace.